Live today in the Mountain Shadows area just off of Majestic Drive today. It's been 1 year now since the Waldo Canyon Fire. We're going to talk about how this area is rebuilding and they are moving forward. That is coming up this hour. Don't go anywhere. Hang on.
All right, we will be right back. First, Craig is live in the Mountain Shadows neighborhood on the 1 year anniversary of Waldo Canyon Fire when it destroyed that neighborhood. Craig?
Morning, guys. That's right. We are here in the Mountain Shadows area just off of Majestic Drive. On the way tonight, a big free concert for everyone. It's about new beginnings and a sign of hope. A celebration tonight. This is Bob Cutter on the way. He's going to tell you all about it. Don't go anywhere. Hang on.
An emotional toll was taken on the residents of Mountain Shadows during the Waldo Canyon Fire.
Reflected on what happened 1 year ago. Also, we are celebrating all of that progress, the rebuilding. We know this is going to be just like this next year. Black Forest, as everybody gets their houses back. Craig Coffey in that neighborhood talking about coming together as one. Craig, good morning.
That's right. That's what it's all about today. Everyone here going to celebrate now the new beginning, a sign of hope. That's the idea of the main event tonight, this concert. We'll talk more about that in just a little bit. First of all, this is Bob Cutter once again. Good morning.
Good morning, Craig.
The nonprofit is Colorado Springs Together, formed by you after the fire. You got the call from the mayor. And basically, what you're doing is helping these people move forward.
Yes, I mean, the role of Colorado Springs Together is collaboration, coordination, communication, and community enhancement to help the Mountain Shadows neighborhood recover, restore, rebuild people's lives, and as you say, move forward.
Let's talk now about these homes. A lot of new homes going up, new technologies, replacing the older homes that were here. So I would assume now it's good news for the residents because home values are really kind of spiking up.
Yes, I think what we've seen, and in fact, people had appraisals on their homes April before the fire, and they've had appraisals on the same home just April of this year, and they're seeing values in the fire zone go up by 5%.
Well, that's tremendous.
Which is tremendous for the neighborhood, and I think a real sign for them that the neighborhood is coming back.
This house right behind you here, you can see that one, Mike, right there. That's going to be a Parade of Homes home that's going on, and several of those in this area.
Exactly. I think what we're seeing is the Housing and Building Association.
Yeah.
I think there's 3 homes here this year that will be in the Parade of Homes, and then we're looking to arrange with them a special Mountain Shadows tour of homes in the fall.
Okay, let's talk about the big show tonight. Again, this is it, Mountain Shadows, a new beginning, a sign of hope, incorporated now with the Black Forest fire as well. And it's all about moving forward here, and it's going to be in the Mountain Shadows Park. Okay, this is a big deal. You're expecting thousands of people tonight.
Yes, tonight we expect thousands from across Colorado Springs. We've reached out to Black Forest residents to encourage them to come stand shoulder to shoulder with the Mountain Shadows neighbors. We expect several thousand people, so we've arranged for parking at Verizon.
Okay.
Kindly, they've opened up their parking lot as well as other locations, so come early.
Okay, lots of great speakers tonight, also lots of great music too. The Flying W Wranglers are here. The Springs Philharmonic will be here, and of course, an incredible number that was composed just for this event. Talk about that real quickly here. Old Friends and Memories, they're the band that's going to do this song.
Yeah, Frank Moore, who's a resident of the Mountain Shadows neighborhood, composed a song called the Fire Song, and the Philharmonic very kindly scored that music, and so he is going to be singing that song with the Philharmonic tonight.
Okay.
Very emotional, very meaningful for so many residents.
You said rehearsals, not a dry eye.
Not a dry eye.
And just rehearsal.
Yes.
Okay.
So wait for tonight.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bob. You know, very emotional now. We are 1 year since the Waldo Canyon Fire, but the emotions, we're moving on now. It's a sign of hope and new beginnings. More coming up in just a while, guys. Back to you in studio.
A lot's been accomplished in 1 year, that's
Absolutely.
for sure. All right. Thanks, Craig.
Dan, thanks a lot. Yes, we're live here today, Mountain Shadows area. On the way, it's been 1 year now since the Waldo Canyon Fire. We're going to reflect back to that, but today a celebration. The rebuild process is on. We'll talk with Bill Brown. Coming up next, we'll get his story you do not want to miss. Hang on.
In the aftermath of Colorado's recent destructive wildfire in Black Forest, we continue remembering the effects of the Waldo Canyon Fire 1 year ago.
Yeah, it's amazing that they happened so close together. It broke out last 2 Tuesdays ago, essentially, the Black Forest Fire did, and right around the 1 year anniversary of Waldo Canyon coming into the Mountain Shadows neighborhood. That's where Craig Coffey is, one of the worst hit and hardest hit neighborhoods. 347 homes gone. Craig, it's all about rebuilding and looking to the future, right?
Justin, that is exactly right. Good morning to you. Good morning, Kimberly. Let's go ahead and talk about that. 200 new home permits have been issued. 78 new homes now in this year have been finished. That's some good news. And of course, a lot more still under construction right now. A lot of progress being made all around us. We're here just off of Majestic Drive in the Mountain Shadows area. With us right now, a gentleman, this is Bill Brown. Good morning to you. You live just down the block here from us. You lost your home. You have since rebuilt. You were the second family back into this area, right?
That's correct.
That's correct. So tell us what this year has been like for you.
Well, that would be impossible. But, I mean, the initial shock was just beyond my imagination. We were in the house Tuesday morning getting stuff, and we did not expect the house to burn. We were getting stuff until we got back in, and the initial shock was amazing. One of the better things about if you're going to have your house destroyed by fire is you don't see the destroyed things; they're gone. So the impact of what has been lost comes slowly.
That's interesting. Was it, when you first came back though, was it hard to come back and see your plot of land and where everything was just leveled and gone?
Yes, it was. And the neighborhood was just beyond belief. And there were a couple of National Guard guys here, and I said to one of them, "This looks like a war zone." The guy says, "No, it doesn't. That war zone doesn't look this bad."
Wow.
Unless we napalm them, he said.
Okay. All right. So you're back now in the neighborhood. You know, you might hear some of the sounds going on. The construction has begun at 7 this morning. And what's it been like living in a construction zone now for the good part of a year?
Well, we've been back in the home for about 3 months. And the simple fact is, it's like most things in life. You have to take the best that's offered.
Right.
And when the house first burned, both my wife and I agreed that we would not rebuild. But after looking at the options for about a month, we changed our mind. We decided that we had to rebuild. It was the only way we were going to get what we really wanted. And simple fact is, living in Mountain Shadows is very nice, and it's a tough act to follow. Even with the mountains burned the way they are, they're still beautiful.
Real quick, 2 points if you can make to us here. Black Forest, what were your thoughts when that happened? What advice would you give to them? And what's the most important thing you've learned in this year?
Well, when I first got the full realization of the Black Forest fire, the feeling that came over me is indescribable. It was horrible. It was like somebody was coming at me with a horrendous weapon. Just having experienced what we did and realizing how much more susceptible the Black Forest is to destruction with the trees all around the houses. In our case, the forest is across the street. So once the fire came into the neighborhood, it didn't have a lot of trees to feed on. So the Black Forest is really, it's just scary. And I'm happy that it wasn't worse.
Well, again, you're a block away just off Majestic Drive. Good to be home?
Oh, it's very good to be home. It is tough living in the neighborhood. There's, you know, like I say, it was the best option. We felt it was the best option we had available to us.
Well, thanks for your time and your story. We're glad things worked out for you. We're going to have more on the way here in just a bit. A big show tonight on the way. We'll talk more about that. Free for everyone. They're expecting thousands. This tonight, the place to be. It's all about new beginnings and a sign of hope, not just for Waldo Canyon residents, but also for those in Black Forest, too. That's coming up in just a while. Back to you guys in studio.
Yeah, Craig, it's so interesting to hear from that gentleman who said, you know, they were thinking about not going back to that neighborhood, and so many people have gone back. You know, they thought, you know, there's no way I'm going back, but they did, and they are rebuilding bigger, better, and stronger.
That's right. They say this is home, and like Bill said too, it's hard to beat it when you live here in Mountain Shadows. And just quickly, go ahead if you can, take a look behind. You can see how close we are to that burn scar.
Take
that's
that
just
shot
a small
full.
portion. Yeah, and there's already green up on the mountain, so that's a good sign. The mountain definitely, and Mother Nature is starting to green back up.